Marketing is a battle of the mind. So you want to compete. Let's use WOTSO as an example. There are lots of options to go and have a business in a virtual space or a shared space. So it's, what is the WOTSO brand? Why is the WOTSO brand different to the competition? And what do they stand for in the minds of its customers and clients? And because competition is the key battle for most businesses. Shane, I'm assuming your business competitive environment?
Very, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's about how do we compete differently and how do we position our brand or our business in the minds of our customers or potential customers that is different to those competitors.
Yep.
Okay. It helps you to communicate what that meaning is. So again, what is it that we do and why are we different, and be consistent around communicating that. It's obviously keeping customers. So people often want to get new clients all the time or new customers. Don't forget the existing customers and clients. They already trust you, they're already warm, they're already spending or investing money with you. There's always opportunity to get more out of them. And obviously it helps you to create new ones. So there's obviously a lot of marketing avenues for us to get new clients as well. What's most important is that what is it that you do that is different to the competition?
Look, to be honest, it's a very good point that you raise. I did a pitch last week to a pretty senior stakeholder, and the Q&A session at the end was, we still don't know what you do, right?
Is that what they said to you?
Yeah. And actually, when I reread the pitch, I went into every granular detail about our operations and everything else, but I didn't deliver the key message in the opening.
Yeah.
And like, I probably had lost the audience after 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very, very valid point. So we've actually rebuilt the pitch deck, and the opening line is, we just changes your perception immediately. So
100%. I love hearing that stories, because people just think it's like a giveaway line or whatever. But if you and because business owners, and you would appreciate this, and the others would appreciate that, you're so close to the business. Mm-hmm. You're in it every day. You know what the hell you do, mm-hmm. right? But to communicate that in an easy way for someone that's maybe not in the industry or doesn't know you that well, you got to just communicate it so easily, right?
Yeah.
And we live in such an over-communicated society, right? TV, radio, social media, newsletters, workshops, like, it's clutter. So we need to find a really simple way to cut through that clutter. And not just in a pitch deck, but in all your marketing touch points. So make sure that whatever that message is, you're using it now across everything. Social, websites, whatever you do, right?
Yeah.
That's the key, and it's about being, one of the things was consistency in message that we wrote down. So that's one of the key things. And also, without being rude, people aren't always the smartest. Mm-hmm. So if we can simplify that message in a really easy way, they don't have to think. They don't have to try to figure out clever messages and whatever. As small business owners, we don't have $1 million marketing budgets, right? So we need to make it super simple about what we do and how we can best communicate that and how we're helping our clients. So I always say there's 4 key things that help us to be great at marketing. So one, how are we positioning ourselves in the minds of our customers that's different to the competition? Are we then communicating that message and not wavering from it? Mm-hmm. Are we communicating it frequently? And are we communicating it more than our competition? Right? So it's about doing it in that order. In a few slides, I'll tell you that businesses do the opposite. They just start communicating crap, and people go, I don't know what the hell you do, right? So, I'll talk about pain points now. I'm skipping ahead a bit, but as business owners, 4 key pain points. What do you think? Yell out what you think 4 of them are, or at least one of them are. Pain points from small business owners, in general, not just marketing.
Not enough leads and cash flows problems.
Yep.
Time pool. Staff headaches.
Staff, yeah. There's more than 4. Yeah, keep going. More? What else is there? Shane, what are your pain points in business?
Look,
he's like, how long do you have?
Resources are challenging. Resources are challenging, and particularly in our space, getting to the table for a conversation is difficult because the value of our orders are significant.
Yeah.
So there's.
So what's the minimum? I don't, you may want to share it or not share it. What's the average value of a transaction or an invoice or a
Yeah, north of $1.5 million.
Yeah, okay.
For each sale. So
Sure.
it's there's a lot of work that goes into.
So who are you who's buying from you?
So it's kind of tier 1, tier 2 developers.
Yep.
And
Developers and slash builders.
Correct. Depends on the relationship.
Sure.
But there are a lot of developer, designer, builders in the market, or we will get specified or nominated by the developer to the builder.
Sure.
To deliver their projects.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so generally, when we pitch to those guys, it's to a board of 10 executive decision makers. So,
Yeah.
So it's pretty full on. So.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of waste in our business because of that.
Yeah. As in the tender process, the meetings, all that BS.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We've got to go through a whole round of pitching before we get and it's cutthroat. It's you get your tender in and you may never ever hear again from them.
Absolutely. And then I'll just want to smash you on price, right?
That's it.
Building industry margins are like,
yeah.
Absolutely. So for me, I see 4 key pain points: time, money, energy, and skills. So they're for me, that's small business owners' 4 key pain points. So it's about trying to overcome those key factors or key errors as a business. A marketing plan for a small business owner should be just tangible. It should be that positioning that we spoke about. How are we positioning our business and our brand in the minds of our customers that's different to the competition? And then what activities are we going to best communicate that with? Right, and it's about just having a really simple plan, actionable, tangible. Right, what are we doing this week? And then the investment or the timing around when those activities should be done, the frequency around those. Actually, I use an example. So we have clients or potential clients coming to us, and they say, "I've done all this marketing activity, but none of it works." And my first question to them is, "What are you doing, or what are you communicating that is different to the competition?" And the answer, that's a blank face. And I say, and do you have a plan around the actual activities that you're doing? And again, generally there isn't. And that's small business in a nutshell for you. And they would be spending so much time and energy on the marketing, and it's not working, which creates more frustration, and it's a domino effect. And it's because they're not communicating clearly and they're not communicating frequently enough. Small business owners are time poor, right? Someone said time. Who said time? Michael did. Small business owners are time poor. Whatever time they invest in marketing, you want it to be effective. And you should be measuring. Yeah. So you need to create systems, engage somebody, do something, because if you guys are investing, and I don't know what you invest in marketing, but if you're investing a lot in marketing, you need to know and understand what's working and what's not. Because then there could be wastage. It could be effective. And it's not about just stopping things that don't work. It's about them doing more of the things that are working. Because if you know what's working, you'll do more of it.
Yeah.
And if there's stuff that's not working, you'll either fix it or go, we're not going to do that anymore. So when we have clients come to us, they see marketing, and if they've never done marketing before, they see marketing as achieving one of 2 things or 2 things for them. So one is it driving revenue? At the end of the day, they want to drive revenue. 99% of businesses want to drive revenue. The other could be that just they want to look more professional, or a combination of both. Depends on the inquiry that we get, but it could be either of those, or as I mentioned, both. For example, we started working with a civil construction company, and good business, been going for 10 years, successful, decent revenue, and for them, they don't need to engage us to help them get new clients, like get them leads. They want to just make sure that they're communicating that they are as good as they are, and show people. At the moment, like their logo is, a tip truck with it looks a bit amateur, right? And if they're going to tier 2, tier 1 builders, and they look at them and they go, "This guy's kidding. Like, what year are we in?" They want to look professional. Professional website, capability statement, branding, all that stuff. So that's really key for a business like that. Whereas other businesses just go, "I just need leads tomorrow," right? So the objectives are obviously different for every business. Again, it's about positioning us with less competition to give you a higher chance of success. but most small businesses do the opposite. They go straight into action mode, straight into creating a Google Ads campaign, straight into writing a capability statement, and then wonder why it doesn't work, and they go, none of this is working, and it's because it needs to be done the opposite. I'll rephrase that. A lot of businesses want to target everybody, right? So if you target everybody, you end up targeting nobody. We all know that, right? So it's really focusing in on who is my target audience, what is their position, what is their age, what is their sex, what are all those similar characteristics, and making sure that can we communicate, in our communication, are we mentioning those people? So for example, Shane targets tier 1 and tier 2 builders. So that already tells me that if he can communicate on his capability statement, on his website, on his business card, somewhere, and I'm paraphrasing, but if he can use the word something like Australia's best builders, like we do this product for Australia's best builders, or we do this product, or we service them in this way for Australia's leading builders, then if a leading builder is reading that capability statement or looking at his website, they go, fuck, that's me. Yes, we're a leading builder. A bit of an ego in that as well for the builders. We know what builders are like, right? They'd be going, oh yeah, we're a leading builder. Absolutely, we should have a chat with this guy. So if you can mention who your audience is in your communication, then that helps to attract them. So I'll use this example. Imagine 2 websites. So sorry, I keep using you as an example. Sorry. So imagine there's 2 websites. So there's Shane's website, and he says, we do this offering for Australia's leading builders, and then there's Joe Blow over here that says, we do this product for fucking everyone, right? So if I'm a leading builder and I look at those 2 websites, which one am I choosing? I'm choosing the guy that knows my business better than the guy that does it for everybody, right? So if you can be explicit and unashamed around who you help, then absolutely do that, and just ram it home and be consistent at that in all your communication. So if you're just starting out, right, the temptation is, oh my God, I'll take anything, right? And that's okay because you need the revenue, but make sure that you're communicating, and I'll use Shane's example, you're communicating that you do work with leading builders. Can you do work with non-leading builders if you want to, and they check out and they're going to pay you and all those things? Sure, do it. But you don't have to communicate it, but you can do the work. Do you see? And I'm sure Shane's done that over the years, right? So it's just finding that nice balance. So I'm hearing a lot what you'd all would see it, that everyone's talking about, 12 interest rate rises in a row, inflation, all that stuff. People will, regardless of the industry, and there might be minor exceptions, people have still got money to spend or invest, okay? So it's about making sure that you are always there for them to be able to choose you. So I'll use Nick's business, if Nick's communicating once a month and his competitors are communicating 4 times a week, then just as a numbers game perspective, Nick's competitors have a better chance of being found than Nick does, right? So, is there less money in the economy? Maybe. Are people still spending? Yes, I'm seeing Christmas time record spending. So there's still money in the economy. So it's about, so I think a lot of businesses use money as an excuse, and it's because they're probably not communicating like they should be, or putting the brakes on communicating or being proactive, not even just in their marketing, just in their business in general. It's funny, right? So sometimes it's about timing. So I was talking to a client of ours, and they are in the transport and logistics industry. So they pick up, so the client brings a container on the wharves, their trucks will pick up the container, take it either directly to the client or take it back to their warehouse and then store it for them, and then the client comes and picks it up whenever they're ready. So he was saying that so their clients are freight forwarders, right? So he just went onto a website, found some freight forwarder websites. He just grabbed their email address and then just sent them a personal email. Hi, this is Tom. We're from XYZ Logistics. Probably never heard of us. Here's what we do. Let us know if you need, change in a transport or logistics provider, whatever the wording was. And because of the way that he wrote the message, it seemed personal. He was based in Sydney. It was just pretty casual, and maybe specifically for that industry. So we said like, what works for what industry? These freight forwarders, he got some replies. He goes, "Oh, hi mate, thanks for the call. Yeah, just send us over the rate card or whatever." Like, so some industries it's going to work because of, you know, maybe the freight forwarders, like they're always open to new suppliers or new people that can help them and get better rates for their clients. So it just depends, and that's to answer your question. It depends on the industry, because if I did it, probably wouldn't work, right? You know, if I look from a small, and your business, the business that you work in doesn't sound like a small business, right?
It's like a medium size.
Yeah.
Like,
And small businesses generally, you know, they want to see some tangible results, which is understandable. So it's finding that balance between building that brand, but you've got to, this is the thing, you can, you know, we spoke about brand, marketing, sales. If you just go straight to sales, it's going to be harder to work, because what are you communicating about your brand? Does it look credible? Are you communicating this differently to the competition? All those things need to be done first before you go externally to give you the better chance of success.
What's the relevance of a good website nowadays versus 10 years ago?
Yeah, I think, so let's use your industry. So if it's information based, you don't need to be spending 15 grand.
Yeah.
But if it's information based, I would say that clients will probably want to see, like visually, what some of that joinery has been in the past.
Yep.
So showing that off, absolutely. And I think because you're doing tier 1, tier 2 builders, it needs to look like that. Like the civil company I was talking about, one of the directors is like, we want ourselves to look like a $50 million business. He goes, because we can be, like we're the numbers are close to that. So it's about looking like, so we spoke about 2 reasons in marketing: the way that you look or driving the revenue. Yours is probably a combination of both. So you want to look credible and professional. So in your case, I'm assuming like procurement are doing their research on you, right?
Yeah.
The board are doing their research on you. So they've got to do research somewhere.